Hello chaps and welcome back to the channel. So we're doing another Battlefield Let's Talk today, despite there not being much to talk about around the Battlefield franchise, as Battlefield 6 news and updates has gone a little bit dry. There's no more credible information out there as of yet, and we all know we're not getting anything more regarding Battlefield 5 in terms of content updates and DLC. So I saw this video put up by Lossie the other day about EA's Rebrand, and at the time of watching it and seeing the thumbnail, I thought, Christ, have we really got to this point as a Battlefield community where the best content we can put out is talking about a rebrand at EA? So I thought, no, I'm not going to make a video on it, but look, here we are, and actually some of it is quite interesting, hence me making the video. So if you don't know, EA have recently rebranded, and I think Lossie referred to it in his video as a playful pink they've gone towards now. And they've definitely moved away from those jagged edges you saw in the previous EA logo and more to circles. Now, do I think, a playful pink undoes a decade of, well, let's just say how it is at the moment, deceptive monetary practices? If you remember the release of Star Wars Battlefront 2 not too many moons ago, the backlash and the hail of shit that got rained down on it was ridiculous, all due to those loot boxes. See, it wasn't like Warzone Star Wars Battlefront 2 where, you paid for a skin and you knew what you were getting in return. Loot box is a whole different ballgame where little kids would basically take their mum's credit cards, purchase a loot box, which was completely random what you could get in it, and I believe you could also get duplicates. So if you didn't get what you wanted, it was very addictive and you'd keep buying more and more and more. So they actually got done by this lawsuit for implementing gambling into their game, which I believe was a PG-12, and it's certainly not legal to be gambling at the age of 12. Maybe it was a 15, but either way, it definitely wasn't an 18. I remember when EA sent this woman to defend the loot box mechanic and labelled them surprise mechanics. So I almost burst out laughing. The defence was so poor. I think she knew what she was saying was complete rubbish. I'll play the clip for you now, but it was just such a pitiful defence.
Do you consider loot boxes to be an ethical feature of your games? Kerry?
Well, first, we don't call them loot boxes. I think that was
whatever term you wish to apply to them. Do you consider them ethical?
So what we look at as surprise mechanics, but I think it's important to look at this.
I mean, come on, you can visibly hear the guy laughing when she says surprise mechanics. Surprise mechanics. Oh, surprise, I've emptied out your bank account in a period of 3 days, mum. Apologies, but these loot boxes weren't giving me what I wanted. I mean, it's ridiculous. They're loot boxes at the end of the day. And at worst, it's outright gambling. They're definitely not surprise mechanics. If it's a surprise, it's a pretty shitty fucking surprise, if you ask me. But anyway, moving on. So do I think a colourful pink and less jagged edges on a logo is going to change EA as a business? I'm skeptical. I think the proof is going to have to be in the pudding on this one. I don't think it's enough just to change your colours and your shapes on a logo and expect everything to be forgiven and to expect you to be this, messiah of a publisher now. I'm going to be very intrigued to see what their next title is all about and what kind of practices they employ in that title, especially in terms of the microtransactions. The Battlefield community, for the most part, has avoided these microtransactions due to premium being in the game that cost us an extra 40 quid. They did try and do something different with Battlefield 5, but as we all know, that didn't go down too well. I mean, I actually don't know anyone that actually bought a skin in that game. I mean, let me know if you did in the comments, but I certainly did, and none of my mates bought any of the skins. One, we just didn't see the need, and two, they were pretty bad, to be honest. They didn't look that great. They all look the same to me, but I mean, let me know if you did in the end. To be honest, I hope they do go back to premium. I don't think they will, to be honest. I think there's too many good games out there making so much money from the live service model that EA probably won't take that route. But I prefer to know how much I'm going to be spending on the game. The problem with Battlefield 5 is I spent 50 quid expecting, all these DLC updates without premium because people will be spending money on cosmetics. And in the end, what I got was basically no DLC and the game being cut a year short than it should have been, really. I'd rather just know how much the game is at the start and know how much I'm going to get shafted. I like 50 quid, 40 quid on top, like you're going to spend £90, but then you're going to get a completed game with DLC up to the end of the life cycle of the game. I'd much rather that than this 50 quid. Now I just feel like my 50 quid isn't that well spent. At least if I'm spending the 90 quid, I've actively took that decision, and most of the time they do deliver on that 90 quid. At least if you look at Battlefield 4, you look at Battlefield 3, all those games, fantastic. Battlefield 1, arguably, yes, they did deliver. There was quite a lot of DLC in that as well. So it might have not been everyone's cup of tea, but they did deliver in terms of content. So I think that about wraps things up on this video. If you did enjoy, remember to subscribe to keep up to date with future content, and give this video a like so I know you enjoy this type of content. This content's a little bit less scripted than my other content, but I'm just trying out new ideas to see what works well really and what people prefer. But anyway, thank you very much for listening. As always, have a great day and peace out.